Online collaboration and messaging platforms are important tools for today's work environments. Employees can enjoy near-instant communication, real-time file and info sharing, virtual meetings, and other key functions. But with that comes risk. Messaging apps like Microsoft Teams, Slack, and Google Chat are high-value targets for attackers. That's because they're often used together with other cloud-based tools, many times with the same logins. And messages sent by way of them are likely to contain sensitive data. This could include information about employees, customers, and operations. What makes messaging apps useful to attackers? First, employees inherently trust messaging apps, especially if they think they're only accessible to coworkers. This can cause them to be less careful. Even those who are savvy about phishing emails can wind up being a victim. Second, the very nature of any messaging app works in favor of attackers. Simply put, employees tend to share sensitive or confidential data over these apps. For instance, a colleague or boss looking for a file or sharing a link to financial records. They also usually respond quickly to an urgent message. It might be a request to review a document to meet a looming deadline. They also tend to be less critical of informal wording, so they may not think twice if a message contains abbreviations, spelling mistakes, or grammatical errors. And while messaging apps come with security features, they can only offer so much protection. They simply can't scan, check, or purge malicious links and files in real time. So, how would attackers use messaging apps to, well, attack? For starters, they could send malicious code or files in a message. Or they could send requests for sensitive information with little scrutiny. If they get access to login credentials, they could impersonate a trusted employee. This access lets attackers study ongoing chats and group messaging to get a feel of tone, relationships, and processes. Then, when they do act, it's more believable. Or if the target organization uses chat platforms to deliver customer service and support, an attacker could pose as a customer and manipulate a representative into giving out sensitive info. Attackers also seek out vulnerabilities in the messaging apps themselves. They then could trick users by sending out malicious communications that appear to be app notifications. Okay, now for the big question. How can you identify and avoid phishing attacks in messaging apps? Fortunately, there are some simple things you can do. Before sharing sensitive information, clicking a link, or opening an unexpected document, ask yourself a few things. First, who is making the request? Is it from someone you've interacted with before? Second, what's the context? Is it just a link or document with no other info? Does something seem out of character for the sender? Lastly, is it trying to manipulate your emotions? For example, is it implying you must act quickly even though it's an unexpected request? Remember, review in-app messages with the same level of scrutiny that you would use for any email. Some may pressure you into straying from approved organizational processes and procedures. Don't let them. This is critical when it comes to responding to customer service requests, and any time you're being asked to provide access to sensitive data or execute a financial transaction or payment. Verify any unusual or unexpected request before acting on it. It's better to do this outside of the messaging app or email. And it's best to do it with a voice-to-voice or face-to-face confirmation. Keep on the lookout for unusual posts or odd notifications in group channels. Attackers may use these to try to reach as many people as they can with a single message. Finally, if you encounter suspicious activities in a messaging app, follow your organization's processes for reporting security concerns.